Hello everyone, how is everyone doing? Hopefully everyone can hear me okay and it's all coming through nice and clear. Welcome to tonight's live stream. Yeah, we're back on live, and tonight we are doing a devlog, which is basically me just working on my own game, because I don't get any time to work on my own game stuff anymore. So I thought we'd just crack on and do some game dev stuff. If you haven't seen me working on this project before, it's basically a 3D platformer, and I'm basically ripping off Banjo-Kazooie. It's my own skin essentially around it, with some customized, modernized bits on it too. So before we get started, just a reminder of a few things going on. So yes, there's new videos out every single day. I know it says Game Jam there, that's not right. There we go, that's the right one. There will be a Game Jam happening. I'm just trying to find a good time to do it where I'm free enough to do stuff for it. So there will be some stuff about Game Jam coming out soon, hopefully. A bit delayed, as I normally like to do it sooner, but it will be happening at some point. There are still some private sessions left in April, not many, but there are still a couple left. So if you want a private session, just let me know by emailing me at the bottom there. Okay, and I'll get that to you and let you know the availability. Okay, and obviously May is open as well for more slots for those who want them. Okay, pardon me, it's quite late here. Oh God, God Almighty. So apologise for the yawning. So let's jump in and return back to our project here. Okay, so today I'm going to focus on the collectibles. So a big component of the game, being a Banjo-Kazooie type clone of a game, is it has a number of collectibles, and that's what we're going to work on today. So we need, I made a demo one when I first started this project, but we're going to start again from scratch basically. So I'm going to make a new blueprint class for this, and this will be a parent class for all collectibles, so I want to be able to pick these all up upon collision. So we'll call this one collectible base. Let's fix that spelling error. Wait for it to do the autosave. Now, what's happened there? There we go. And let's go into there. I realize you can't see what I've typed in because you're behind my head, but yeah, it's just a blueprint class, that's all. And quite simply, this thing's going to have basically two components. It's going to have the mesh, and it's going to have the sphere collision. Jacqueline, are you going to ever finish the RPG FPS series? Yes. It just been delayed because I was setting up this room here and catching up with some other series stuff that have like the stealth series and all that stuff. But yeah, it's going through. Things take time, that's all. Right, so this sphere here, I don't want to be in the center there. I'm going to pull it up like there. So as my snaps turned off, let's put that at 50 and put this mesh up at 50 there. Cool. And I'm going to get a default mesh of a sphere. So bog standard sphere will do just fine. It's a bit too big, but nonetheless. Nothing since Feb. There's been stuff since Feb, I think. Yeah, the Quest series is the latest bit on Patreon. Was that February? Really? I can't remember now. We haven't finished the Quest part yet. The Quest part's still going. Right, let's change the sphere radius here. Let's do this to 100. Maybe 150. Yeah. So you kind of want the collision area for when you pick up items to be a bit slightly bigger than the the sphere itself that you get, or the item you're going to pick up yourself. You meant the FPS RPG. The quest series, the quest part of it is part of that. So are you talking about the shooting, the gun part of it, chapter 5? Are you talking about that, Jacqueline? Chapter 6, I put a post up on Patreon. I stopped chapter 5, which was the shooting part, because I wasn't happy with the animation part, and I need time to work on the animation stuff. Hopefully over these Easter break, because it's Easter break for me at work, so I'm off for 2 weeks. So I'm going to try and get some animation stuff done then. Yeah. But yeah, so chapter 5 is going to be slightly redone at some point. So most of it's going to be the same. It's just mostly the animation stuff that's different. Chapter 6 part 2 was questing. Okay. So yeah, I need to do more. Yes, more of that will be coming. I say, got 2 weeks off now, so I'm trying to get some more recording done. If you can't tell, I do all this at night. Like, trying to do it all in the daytime is impossible, so I have to do it at night. Right, so I got some basic stuff in here. X-Draco, Crispet RTS series. Need an episode about selecting the actors on screen. I just filmed the next part of that. I just need to edit it. That'll be out this week. The next part of that. So yeah, that'll be coming. Okay, let's make some events in here. And we need. That's very loud. That little notification. I'm going to turn the event list off because that's really annoying. What's it called? Alert box. Remove that. Yeah, because that's annoying me. Sadly, there's only enough hours in one day. Try and fill this stuff in. So by default, this thing will be picked up. So when it's removed from player here, we'll just take the destroy actor. That'll be the basic thing we happen there. But only when the player character is overlapping it. So here we want to check if it's equal to the player character. We don't need a cast because we're not going to be storing on the player character itself. We'll be storing stuff like that elsewhere. Okay, that'll do that. So we'll have several collectibles in here. I'm gonna get rid of this star collectible because that's old. Get rid of that. I'm gonna have a few other ones in here. Hello, Mark. We're gonna make a child blueprint class of this. So we need the collectible star. These are the main things you pick up. They're like the jiggies you find in Banjo-Kazooie. Does this game have a name yet? No, not yet. That'll probably be the last thing I'll work on. And it's called Project Aurora because that's the main character's name. Named after my daughter. So you got stars. You got wishes. So the wishes are little characters that you can collect, like the Jinjos out of Banjo-Kazooie. And you collect a number of those per level to get a star. You wish upon a star. That's the play on the words there. Then there's the currency. It should be collectible. And I call this. What do I call this one? It was just a fragment. Can't remember what I had in my design doc. It was a fragment. Okay, so they're like the notes you find in Banjo-Kazooie. So there will be 100 per level. You collect them all on. Yeah. The last thing I work on is a bit of mouthful. Yeah. Okay. What else is there? There's others as well. I can't remember now. We'll worry about these ones first. There are more. I can't remember now what I had. So the collectible items we have here, we want to run over them and collect them. So, for example, fragments. These will disappear like that, okay? But we need to store what we're collecting, and storing that on the player character's controller. So I'm not storing the character itself, I'm storing the controller, and letting the controller handle what is being collected and how it's storing it, and then eventually how it's saving it as well, because each level will need to be saved somewhere. So when you view the totals, you can view those totals. So let's go to my controller. Okay, so as I said, we need to store, rather than storing it overall how many we've collected, we need to store how many we've collected in each level, and then also summarize that in the UI of how many collected overall in the whole entire game. So I'm probably have to do like a structure, I'm guessing. By the way these things work, I haven't planned this out. I haven't worked on this game at all. I only work on it on stream, so you'll see me working stuff out live. I'm not entirely sure, 50 Fog. I'd have to have a look at that one more in detail. It's one of those things like numerous things could break stuff. It's hard to pinpoint things like that. Right, so we need a data structure per level. So blueprints, structure, level, totals, struct, level total struct, and this will have the level name. Let's go with that space, don't like spaces. Level name, text, new one will be stars, and that'll be an int. Most of these will be ints because you have stars, then you'll have wishes, fragments, and there'll be other stuff, but I can't remember now what they are. That'll do for now. Okay, and on our player controller, we need to store an array of these for the whole entire game, and we'll store that on the save system as well. So we have to make a save system for this. So let's make a save system. Make a new save game object, and we'll call this one world save data. No, what should we call this one? I guess just save data. My save data. We'll just call it save data. Save data. And in the save data, this is where you put in the variables or the things you need to store. So we need to store quite a lot of stuff, really. And you can break this down to multiple save game classes if you want, but we'll see how we get on. But I think we could be okay with just one. So, world totals, and that'll be world. Oh, I quit level instead, didn't I? Level. Crap. Hang on. Level total struct. Yeah, there you go. And that'd be an array. Yeah. And my game has 4 levels, by the way, so there'll be 4 things. Would that be best? No, we won't do it like that. We'll do it. We'll call it world. We'll do it by each world separately. So I'll do world 1, and that won't be an array. It'll be just singular like that. Okay, so world 1 level stats. We'll keep that there. World 2. World 3. It's not a big problem because this is maybe the idea is that I'm not making the full game during our stream, is making a prototype enough so that I can get further funding to hire people to do like things like artwork, animation, things like that. Stuff that I'm not an expert in. Much rather hire people to do stuff like that. So this is storing the world stats here. We'll also need to store which stars we've collected from each world, because you need to save that, so when you go back into the world, the ones you've collected are removed and the ones you haven't collected remain. So you're storing the state of the level basically. So we need to store that somehow, and I think what we'll do there is, in fact, we need to store that for loads of things, don't we? Tell you what might be best then is if we save each world out separately as different save files. Maybe that might be better. Let's rename this world 1 save data. Okay, so world 1 save data. We probably don't need a struct then in that case, because the struct we're going to break anyway, so there's no point in having a struct in this case. Just trying to think. No, we won't use that. We'll use, so we need to store what stars we've collected. So in here we're going to have stars collected, and we need to know each one, which one each one's been collected. So it'll be in a map, okay, and the map will have an integer which will refer to an ID number, which I'll have in my design document, correlating to a particular star in the level. And this one here will be an asset reference to a star. So I'll go collectible star, and this will be a soft object reference, meaning that you don't know if that reference is going to exist. So you won't get any weird issues with that. Okay, it reference will attempt to retrieve it. Sorry. Okay, so that'll be there. Because it's a map, you can add 1 and so forth, and it's 0 base, so it's 0 up to 9, because there's 10 per level. Okay. Well, in fact, we don't need this, do we? We need Boolean. Yeah, we need Boolean, that's right. I'm losing my mind, I'm tired, leave me alone. But there we go. Yeah, Boolean, so whether it's not collected or not, that's fine. Okay, next up, we need the fragments we've collected. So this will be fragments collected, and this one will be using an array. No. Yeah, an array of collectible fragment soft object references. Okay. And wishes. And wishes, again, are like stars in that they are specific ones you have to collect. So I think we'll be pretty much the same as the star one. So that'll be integer map with a Boolean. Okay. Hit save and close that. I am well, thank you, Art. Okay, so this is level 1. Okay, we'll count this as level 1. Okay. And when we go into level 1, we need to store and load up the correct save file. So we'll do it on our player controller, and in here make a new function, and we'll put load level save data. I should just do load level data. That makes more sense. Call it like that. Yep. Okay, and part of that I need to know which level I'm looking at. So this would be probably a number. So that would be level number. Okay, and on low level data we can then do maybe a switch on this, maybe. We'll do a sequence actually. So here will be a sequence. So do the switch first and you'll find which level you want to look at. So in here we're going to make 4 options, and the first option we'll worry about just the first one first of all. So to load data, we're going to check whether save game exists. So we go save game exist, and the slot name, I'll tell you what, no, we can do it with slot names, couldn't we? That'd be better. Oh dear me. Oh, I have a cough, but it's not COVID. I'm just not. I wasn't well Wednesday. It's still lingering from that. So this would be level name. That makes more sense. We'll do that. That makes more sense. Okay, so does save game exist? Check for level name. If it does, great. Put it into a branch. And if it does, we're going to take to load game. If I spell things correctly, load game from slot. And we're going to load this thing, this level name. Oh wait, I didn't compile it. Hang on. Level name. There we go. Load game from slot. And then we're going to take this return value and we need to cast to our world. Let's rename that. Oh no, we need. Do we need to do world 1 save data? Just do world save data, don't we? Because we make instance of it. So I think that's correct. Yes, I think that's correct. Okay. So here we'll do world save data. Because loading, you're basically creating a new instance of that actor. So you do that, and then you store that as a reference. So this would be promoted to variable, and we call this one current world save data. Okay. And if it's false and it doesn't exist already, we have to create save game object, and it be of the type of world save data. And we're then going to just set current world save data, and that's it really. Okay, so what's happening there, when I call this function, it'll check for the level name. If it doesn't exist, it'll create one and store it as reference. If it does exist, it will load it into a new world save data and store it as a current world save data. So I can always get what is the current world I'm in and the save data I'm in there with. Oh dear me. Okay, so hello Stormy. Okay, so we now want on begin play, maybe, because when you begin play it's going to trigger at the start of each level anyway. So when you go into a new level, it'll call begin play again. So on begin play, we can call the load level data, I guess. And here we can get the current level name if we want. So get level name. Like that. Yeah. Oh, the camera's gone blank. So it has. Hang on. Ah, there you go. Whoa. Stupid timeout things, I think, on it. Never mind. We'll work on with it. Okay, so okie. So that'll do there. Save, and I think that makes sense. It loads level data. I've got the current level data now saved here. So in there, I can now create some HUD stuff. So use interface or make a new widget. In the UI, I've already got a HUD UI. What's in here? I've got nothing. Okay, that's fine. So let's create that onto the screen with the player controller. And I don't think I've got anything else going on in here. So once we load level data, we also then want to create widget. Call it a HUD UI. Promote that to a variable. Heads up display. And in here, we want then to add to viewport. Compile, save. Possession on, yeah, only the server can assign possession on stuff. So the server has to be the one that does that code for you. You have to get a particular controller and tell it that controller to possess something. The client can't do it. Okay, so now we've got the HUD on there. Okay, so very simply, we're gonna have the fragments sub HUD here. So I'm gonna make it a sub UI thing, so it makes things a lot easier. We'll call it HUD fragment. Get rid of the canvas panel, and I'm just going to be very simple here. We'll do fancy stuff later. We'll just put in a horizontal box with two texts, one there and another one there. This one will say fragment. And this will be the number. Like that. Okay, so that's it. It is going to be very simple. Save, and I'll tell you what we'll actually do is we'll put a little colour around it as well. We'll wrap that with a border. And we'll tell it to be basically black. And we'll give it a bit more padding on the left and the right. So here I'll do 30, 10, 30, 10. Compile and save. Good evening, hotfix. So I put my fragments in, and I'm going to put my fragments in the top right here. Okay. One thing I forgot to do is on our fragments, I just want to change it so that the horizontal box here is aligned here in the center. So then wherever I scale it, and also I'm going to tell it to, I want these to fill the available space. Why is that overlapping? Auto? I'll call that one auto. Yeah, that'll do. So yeah, we can customize it a bit there if we wanted to. Whatever, that'll do. Okay, I just want to tie this thing up. So on HUD fragments, whatever that is. Getting very dry. Okay. So on the HUD fragments, we need to make a setup here to update it and set it up. So the variable here is going to be number of fragments, integer, and we'll make this on construct set that text value. So whatever bit's going to change, just select that bit and make it variable, and this will be fragment text. I usually call it the name of it and then put what type it is afterwards. So in this case, fragment text. That way it makes it very easy to find it in the variable list. Set text. And we'll set it to number of fragments. Okay, so that does it on the construct. So that should equal 0. Okay, and we should, hopefully when I play this, see that. No, why not? Oh, one bit. It's there. Anchor to the right. This is not working, pinch string. No. Okay, have I got a different controller set up? Ah, yeah, there we go, maybe why. I don't actually have a game mode either, that's useful. Okay, let's make a new game mode. And we'll call this one Aurora game mode. And change the player controller here to that. Default pawn class, Aurora. Done, done. And let's just tell it to use that one here. There we go. Okay, so now we've got the fragments there. So we need to update that and change that based on when we pick things up. So on the fragment here, we need a way to update it. So in here, make another custom event to update count. Make it do exactly the same thing basically. Okay. In fact, what we'll do there is on update count is we have to tell it where to get number of fragments from. So on here, I'm going to give that an input. Again, you can't see it's probably behind my head, but call it fragments and integer, and it'll appear there, you see. So I'm going to set that to number of fragments here. There we go. Cool. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up items. So on here, on collectibles, collectible base, on the begin play of a collectible, so when it's first loading up everything, it's going to get the player controller and cast to the particular one. Because on begin play, it's totally fine to do load of casts, totally okay, because there will be a lot of collectibles, so you do want to do this at the start of the level, not during it. Otherwise you may get some issues. So as a player controller, we now get the HUD, or heads up display it's called, isn't it? Heads up display. And from there we can get various set things. So on the head up display, I'm going to make the head up display manage the collectible stuff. So on graph here, we're going to make some, what would be the best way to do this? Functions, I guess. Collect fragment, we'll call it. The collect fragment is going to take HUD fragments out and call it update. I just realised I made a mistake as well, but we'll get to that in a second. And make it update with 1. So the update we've got issue, as I'm setting it here, but I haven't actually added it onto the existing one. So get that, add them together, and set that there. Cool. So HUD UI is doing this bit. So collectible base here, we call collect fragment. But this won't be on the collectible base, this will be elsewhere, so we'll do that later. And we'll do head up display, we'll bind this to a variable. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So then on the collectible fragment, really dry. So sorry. Okay, and on this one, when we've got the begin overlap happening, we want to keep the parent stuff in there, but then we want to add in the extra bit. So in here, you want to get the heads up display and call the collect fragment function. Okay, and that'll tell the HUD to do this, which then tells the fragments sub widget to do this stuff. Now that's not affecting the save data yet, so what we have to do on the what am I looking at? Player character controller. So this thing is handling the save data, current world save data here. So after we collect each item, we need to store that value in our save data and save it periodically. We could save it after every collectible. That may cause issues, I don't know, but we'll try it out. So on the collectible we've got going on here, actually what might be best as well on collectible base is store this player controller as a reference to. So we'll drag that out and promote that to a variable, and we'll call that one controller. Okay, that's better, because now in this fragment here I'll just get the controller out and I can get the current save data for that. So current world save data, and from there I can set a value. So this is a fragment, I need to tell the fragments on here, so get fragment collected, and I'm going to add to this reference to self and plug that in like that, and let's plug that in there. Thanks, underfunded scientist. Okay, so as I'm collecting each item, it's grabbing the controller's world save data, the current world save data, and sending over this reference to it, so it can keep track of which ones have been collected. So it does that. Then yeah, that'll do that. Hit save. If you want to save it afterwards immediately as well, you drag this out and save game to slot. and the slot name, remember, is the current level name. So if you want to save it after every pickup, that's what you do, is do this. Okay. So once we've done that, we need to also then load, when we load the game save data, is then delete the ones that have been collected. So on our controller here, when we load level data, we want to clear or check for collected fragments. So I'll make another function for this one. Clear collected fragments, and in here we're going to get our current world save data, get the fragments collected array, and for each one we need to delete each one. And all this, by the way, is done on the level load, so it's all going to be hidden behind a load screen or something similar. So off each one here, we need to destroy actor, and what we're going to do is connect that up to there, and it'll convert it over to a soft reference to a hard reference. Now destroy that. Hit compile and then save that. Go back to the event graph, no, the load, and I'm going to call the clear collected fragments and plug that in there. So I think that's it. So what's this one? This was a fragment, and we'll put in a couple of fragments in here. So there's another one there, another one there. Hit play. So hopefully the number should go up as well when I walk into these. Nope. Nope. Okay, fine. Click 2 and see what happens there. There you go. Heads up display. So it didn't like this reference. Why not? What did I forget? That's some begin play there. We'll print string here. Should see like 3 print strings. Yeah. Oh, I remembered them. See? So that bit worked. Oh, forgot about the camera stuff. So yeah, it removed it. See, it loaded up that data there. That's pretty good. So, why isn't it updating that? It's not understanding this reference. Maybe because I'm destroying it too late, maybe? Maybe... Don't know. Maybe if I take this out of here and put it directly on here instead of the parent thing. Just to make sure I'm not getting any weird issues there. And we'll tell it to destroy itself. Oh. No, I still get the issue. Clipboard fragment. It doesn't understand this. Why not? Oh shit, I know why. It's because of this bloody ghost thing. You have to add the parent call. There we go. Bloody thing. Right, I need to clear the save data now. God's sake, hang on. I should make a shortcut to delete the save data. Move this over here so you don't see my messy stuff. Oh, there we go. Yeah, if you have the event but not the parent class, it will overwrite whatever you had into it. So, yeah, that's an issue. Platformer. And let's get rid of the save game data. Right. Yeah, thanks for suggesting my video. I do see it when you do tag me in Facebook groups. I do see it. It's really nice to see, especially when I'm during the workday. Really cool to see. Okay, so hopefully this goes up now. No, God's sake. Still getting none. Why? Parent begin play gets us the heads-up display. That should play this and get all that stuff. Right, again, I'll just... no, I can't copy and cut that. Bollocks. That should work. Right, I'm going to print string this value. Nothing. Hello, Eagle. So why is my thing not working? Call and begin play, which does all this. Get player controller. Is this failing maybe? Let's do print string on here. Oh no, it won't, because we've done a test with the other print string. So it's not failing, it's definitely doing that. I can do a print string on here. Plug that in there. Oh, it's not doing it. Wait, did I not save the reference on my player controller? No, it's there. The only thing I think of is maybe this is loading up after the other things are. So I might put a delay on it. Let's try a little delay. This is where delays come in handy when you want to make sure things come in after other things. So I want the player controller to load first, then I want this to load after. So I delay it a little bit. Right, let me delete the save data again. Duh. Yay, there we go. Okay, and if I go back into the game, they're gone. Here's my ground pound. Bush. Nice, okay. So we've got the fragments there working just fine. Very nice, very nice. Okay, brilliant. So that's the world save data then working. So if you don't know how that works, by the way, I'll recap. So my player controllers was doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. So I've done it on begin play because begin play is going to trigger every time you go into a new level. So when you go into a new level, this will load up, and what it's doing is getting the current level name, and it's going to store a new save file. So demonstrate, here's the save file for this level, because the level is called devworld. I've got a devworld.sav file that goes there. So each world is saved separately, each level is saved separately, and each level we then got the HUD to display, getting the HUD, storing that and showing the screen. When we take to load the level data though, this is standard level saving stuff. If you haven't seen this before, check out my saving videos, but it's pretty basic. Does it exist? Yes or no. If it doesn't exist, create one. If it doesn't exist, load it and cast to it and store it as a current world save data. So we're storing the current world that we're in. We will though have to be able to read what's in every other one as well and summarize. I'm thinking of doing that at a different place in time though, because what will happen there is you only have to load up at the start of the very start of the game. You load up all the level save files, count up all the values and store that on the player character's different save file, then when you go into a new level, you override what that other save file is, if it makes any sense. So you only load it once at the start of the game, and again when you actually go into the new level, because that's the only time that's going to change. So this will then clear the collected fragments, and I'll do the exact same for the other collectibles as well that I want to be persistent, so they get removed at the start of each level. On this, it happens on a level load. So yeah, if you do notice, if you do this and you notice that the level it stutters, so you see the things and they blip out of existence, that's when you want to use a load screen to hide that. Okay, or some sort of animation or something to hide it. But yeah. Okay, so that does that. Next thing I want to do though is if I push play now, you'll see my fragment count is 0, even though those 3 have been collected. So the save file has the number of them I have in my possession. I need to store and display that on my file here. So when I clear collected fragments here, I want to get the length of this. So once I've cleared them, I want to get the head-up display, and here do collect fragment, then completed, and oh wait, I need to add a variable to this. Let's make that add a new input number. That'll be int, and that go into there. Default value of 1. Okay, so now when I'm in here, I can then put the length of this. So how many I have in there plugged into there. So therefore it'll update the HUD at the start of each level there. Or not. Access none, trying to head up there. Clear collected fragments. Ah, well, it's just because, yeah, hang on. Right, it's because the head up day doesn't work out, you bastard. It's because this happens before the HUD. So what I might have to do then is put the HUD before the load. Let's see if that works. Just missed that. Yay! Okay, so now it says I got 3. Why did you use soft object references? Okay, so soft object references. If I go into, I'll show you. Okay. Oh, it's in a save file thing in it. Hang on. Okay, so soft object reference. If I just search for it here, I'll hover over it, it'll tell you as well. So the way they describe it is a path to an instance, object or type, such as a collectible fragment in this case, which may be in an unloaded state. So what this means is, because I'm doing this at the start of the level, the objects may have not loaded into the level yet. And what this does, it says it's asynchronous, which means it'll load, it'll have this reference ready and waiting until when it loads, then it'll grab it and use it then. You don't want to use soft object reference all the time, because you use it if it's asynchronous, meaning that it's always looking at it and always looking for it. And if it doesn't happen for a very long time, it's constantly just looking at it. So you don't want that to happen. So on level loads like this, it works really well because it may not load in time. Depending on how quick your computer is and how it loads it, it's a safer object to do here. Because if you try to remove something that doesn't exist yet, you may get issues and other problems like that. So soft object reference works just as well for that. Similarly for soft classes as well, if they're not loaded. I've never used a soft class reference. Never. But a soft object is where it's at. Okay? For stuff like this. So, yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. Junie B. Hi, Hotfix. I'm glad you enjoyed the building series. I need to finish that off. It's near the end. I need to just finish it off, I think. But yeah. Okay. Right, that's that done, and we're near the end of our time. I don't think I want to jump into any more things, I think, because I don't want to start something and then have to come back to it later. So I'm quite happy where we're at the moment. We eventually will have like a pause screen where you can view the totals of each world, and that you just read the current world save data, and you load up each of those other save data as well. There'll also be another save data file for progress. So as you unlock abilities, you need to store that somewhere, and that'll be stored in that too. And every time you load up a new level, and I've gone black, I can tell. Hang on. There we go. Stupid cameras. When you load up a new level, just gotta load up that save file and read what progress you've done. And the progress stuff, I'll probably store that in the game instance, because once you load up your abilities, they won't change per level. So you load up once at the start of the game, and that's it. So that'll probably happen in the game instance. In this case, we use the player controller because we want it to load new data every time we go into a new level. So that's why we put it there. Okay. There you go. I think we'll end it there. It's quite a good place to finish it, I think. It's been good progress so far. Good progress. Obviously, I need to make the models and stuff like this for that. A little work needs to be done on here. But yeah, it's all very exciting. And I've got something else that's cool to share with you guys, that from summer onwards, I'll be doing this full time. I'm finishing my contract at where I work currently, and I will be going full time into here and doing this from summer onwards. So from about August-ish, I'll be doing this full time, which means all the stuff you'll see now on the channel is done at night for me, because it's part-time hours when my kids are asleep and I'm home from work and things like that. So imagine what we're doing now, but double it. And there's a lot more cool stuff I've been wanting to do, but I just haven't been able to do because I've had no time to do it, and I don't have the ability to do it in that time. So lots of really cool stuff I've got planned to really push this channel further, do lots more cool stuff, and to help you guys out with more stuff going on. So from summer onwards, look forward to new stuff coming. So a lot more videos coming out. I think we'll stick to the same schedule, but there'll be different types of videos coming out as well. New live streams and things like that, more regular live streams as well. Yeah, and it's only possible thank you to all my Patreon supporters. So with your continued support, it's made it possible, as well as YouTube members. So thank you so much. Obviously, this is not, and this is just the beginning. As I say, there's tons more content to come, and yeah, loads of really cool stuff I can't wait to share with. But yeah, thank you so much to all Patreon members, YouTube members, everyone who subscribed, all the people who do one-to-ones with me. It's because of all that I'm able to do this full-time work from home and support my family, pay the bills, and help out people who are making games all day. So yeah, good. Thank you again so much, and I can't wait to share all the exciting stuff coming this summer. So thank you again. We're gonna call it a night there. Have a great evening, everyone. Please stay safe. We're almost out of the pandemic, but I can't wait to get outside, and be nice to actually go to some of the meetups in the UK and so forth. Word on the game jam, yes, it will be coming very shortly. I literally have had no time to sort it out. It's kind of all hands on deck at the moment at work, because it's near the end of the term. So details of that will be coming out soon. I'm sure of it. Okay. Again, it'd be like a prize and a theme and all sorts of things for that. So I want to reward people who do good jobs. So yeah. Okay. Have a great night, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.